Deconstructing Sexual Shame, Chapter 6, Virgin Lips and the World's Worst First Kiss. So when I was 17, I met a guy we'll call him Jet, and he called me Virgin Lips because I told him I'd never been kissed. And he turned out to be attracted to me, or so he told me 10 years later when we went on a date. And, you know, we had some intense theological discussions while we were on a road trip it was a long drive, like a 10 or 12 hour drive, wherever we were going. And we were in the car with a few other people. I think there were 5 people in the car. Some intense discussions, and I went from kind of like being really annoyed at this guy to being kind of attracted to this guy. But I was young. I was a Virgin Lips, and I was kind of scared of being kissed, so I avoided that outcome. Fast forward about 5 years, I went on a date with another guy. We'll call him Levi, and this was really my first date. I'd had coffee with a friend and didn't know if it was a date or not. I had lots of male friends. I have brothers, I have uncles, so I found it fairly easy to make male friends. But whether or not, trying to determine whether they like you is a whole nother ball game. And I didn't consider myself an attractive person. I was overweight. So anyway, at 22, I got on my first date, still as an overweight person. Not that I'm not overweight now. Anyway, point being, this guy Levi, he wanted to kiss me. I don't remember if he asked, but that I certainly didn't push him away. I was like, yeah, I want to be kissed. I want to know what this is like. So it was literally the world's worst first kiss. I mean, there was a lot of tongues squashing other tongues, and it was very wet. It was my first experience. My first reaction was kind of like, this is so wet. And it was just uncomfortable, hard to breathe. It was going nowhere, like tongues banging up against each other and stuck kind of situation. So really, really bad. Epic fail. And then on top of that, like within seconds, probably while kissing this guy, everything in my body, my mind, it all started to kind of shut down, melt down emotionally. Like I was just going, this feels so wrong. This feels wrong, very, very wrong. Like really, really triggered. And triggered was not a word that I knew back then. 20 years ago. I'm 42. I was extremely triggered. And for me, triggering kind of usually looks like I just want to retreat into my body. Like I'm getting lost and my mind can't think straight and everything's becoming a bit almost blurry. Like it feels blurry emotionally. Like, get me out of here. I'm going to run for my life. Just epic fear. Deep, traumatizing fear. So my date takes me home. I didn't voice any of this. I didn't let him know. But I did say, I'm not sure if it was the next day, but I was like, yeah, I don't know if we should keep dating. I don't know if I can do this. And just retreat from the relationship, from every aspect. Because I couldn't cope physically, I couldn't cope emotionally, I couldn't cope with any real level of friendship. Well, that's not completely true. We remained friends, but it very much went backwards in terms of the contact that we had, and these initial feelings of thinking like, you're amazing, and maybe you're the one. Like we were both kind of voicing in emails, hey, this could really be an amazing thing. Like, you're an amazing guy, you're an amazing girl, yada, yada, yada. And then first date, first kiss, I'm running for the hills, traumatized. I didn't have a word for trauma either. It felt like a depressive episode. Like I felt very threatened, like I was becoming depressed. Yeah, how do you describe this stuff? Anxiety, like I wrote to a therapist that I had seen the year before, but I'd moved far, far away from. I wrote to her and said, what do? I don't know what's going on. She mentioned that I probably needed to resolve sexual trauma. And I was like, shut down. Don't want to do that. Don't want to talk about it. And I ran from this guy. So I hope that sharing this experience is helpful for listeners out there who have been in relationships where they've pulled the plug because of really traumatizing feelings, and you may feel like desperate to get married, desperate to have sex, or whatever it is, and still find yourself having these fight, flight, freeze responses where you cannot cope, and you're just like, nah, this is not the guy, this is not the one, not doing this. A traumatic response because of other trauma that's in your body, other situations that haven't been resolved in the past, maybe even from generations past, is what I'm suspecting now, that it's kind of carried on into us because of generational trauma. And we can shut down and push people away and reject a relationship that we think we want, that we think could be perfect, and just go, nah, can't do it. So I hope I'm not the only one who's had this experience. I would like to hear about your experiences, actually, if you would like to video respond or message me or whatever. I hope sharing my experience is helpful for you. And I will be back with the next chapter very soon.